One remands. Then we have 488 debtors, making a total of 80,248, kept in 269 prisons and grouped in 19 regions. The babies with their mothers are 281, and the staff are 14,000. I am glad to inform the public that our standover class 1 ended on 18th. That was on Saturday. So we have resumed the normal business. Anybody who has any transactions with us, please, you are encouraged to do the needful within time. 2, on Tuesday, 14th January 2025, Besigye disrupted court in Abim. It's an open court. At the time, we had 13 prisoners attending a session, and of course, police had 7. And when the bees attacked, neither the magistrate nor the prisoners remained. They all scattered for their dear life. But I want to take this opportunity to thank the security agencies for having done everything possible and made sure there was no escape. Because even in the running, being chased by bees, at least they were able to ensure that the prisoners do not run. And they are commended for being brave in the face of such circumstances, because we are always accountable for whatever happens. Now, I am here to share a few things about false speculations, which some of you have been calling me about to clarify. And these falsifications around, because of social media, are rotating around Dr. Besigye, and his being in prison, how he's being managed. If I picked a few things, one of them is that we have given him an ultimatum, either to eat prison food, or if he doesn't, he should starve to death. Then that 2, that he has already started a hunger strike. And 3, that we have not allowed him to interact with other inmates. And 4, that the government is determined to kill him using prisons. I find this one very outrageous. As I told you, we have 80,000 inmates. And our work is to keep, not to kill. Yes, we hang, but we hang those who have been declared by court. We don't simply kill. We hang those court has decided and the president has endorsed. So first of all, there was even an insinuation, personally. Somebody said, Kampala John, saying, leave us to manage Besigye like how we handled Segirinya. The insinuation is that if Segirinya came out and died, then that's exactly what we are doing for the third canon. This is fake. This is not my word. And that's why I have brought it here. Don't take it as news because somebody is hunting something. I even have a summary of what they were speculating. I don't want to give clout to the one who is speculating, but if you want to know who, the source is also here, and I have brought it for you. Now, my answer to all this is embedded in the law, and you will excuse me. When somebody says something out of the blue that does not have any base, I always find it convenient that I use the law to explain why we are doing what we are doing. And if we go to the Prisons Act, I have the act here, but I have extracted the paper for you, because I know if I told you to get it online, you may say you didn't get it right. So I have extracted a page of the act for you to help me understand why we are doing what we are doing. So it's not true that we can deny food to the canon, because Section 68 says every prisoner shall be subject to the prison discipline and to all laws, orders, and directions related to prisons and prisoners during the entire duration of imprisonment, whether he or she is within the premises of the prison or not. So, whether it is Kano Besigye whether it is any other person, as long as you are a prisoner in prison, you have to be managed according to the Prisons Act and according to the standing orders. We are the experts. When you come as a visitor, you don't become an expert. I always used to tell, when I was arguing, I said it becomes very funny to find that a professor of history is in theater guiding a doctor on how to conduct an operation or surgery. So please, let us do our work. And we are not doing it the first time. 69 clearly says, a prisoner shall be provided with food of nutritious value, adequate for health and strength, by the prison administration at the usual hours. The food shall be of wholesome quality, well prepared and served. So the one who is speculating that they don't want us to take the food, the act does not provide for the relatives, friends, and the political allies to carry food to the what? To the prison. So if there is the standing orders, I will come to the standing orders. With them they say one may, but the person who receives that food must pay for it, not donation. So when we have tried to bend the law to adjust that we become humane and share, and then somebody starts insinuating, it becomes very, very funny and uncalled for. Because this is how it is. I say, this one here is for you. There are these ones about exercise. Of course, there are many. They have been sending at different times, saying that he has been denied exercise. But all these things are just nothing. Even the complaint, if he wants to make complaints, is allowed. That's an extract from the Prisons Act. Now, what does the Prisons Standing Order say about ration? It is chapter 28, ration for prisoners. You can read it from here, but I have extracted it here for easy reading. And I'm going to read it for you. Section 6. A civil or unconvicted prisoner shall be informed on admission that he or she may be supplied at his or her own expense or at the expense of his or her friends with food and drinks subject to the conditions. When you bring any item to the prison, it is not a market of buyer seller. No, there must be conditions that we adhere to. One, he shall give notice beforehand of his or her requirements as the officer in charge may prescribe. It is the officer in charge to prescribe, not the prisoner's visitor to prescribe. So we are operating according to what we are given as a guideline. With them, they are speculating according to their political inclination. But we are not going to do politics in management. Management and politics are very different. That's why I am reading this paper so that you read it in detail. But I'm picking what is quick because I don't want to waste your time. Any privilege allowed under these standing orders may be withdrawn by the officer in charge upon proof upon any abuse of them. So those who are misleading that getting food from out is a right, no, it's a privilege, subject to discipline. And the officer in charge is allowed at any time to adjust. The details are so many, you can read for yourself. So, like I said to the New Vision, we are managing prisons as professionals. We are managing prisons according to international standards. And whether it is Kano Besigye, whether it is who, for us we look at them as prisoners. That's why every prisoner comes to prison and gets a prison number and is managed accordingly. And we shall do that. And I still remind those who are alarming that the government wants to kill retired Kano. At least as far as prisons is concerned, the first time we ever received and kept him was in 2005. He has since been with us not less than 3 times. And he has come in and go now. And so it will be. There is no need for insinuations. Actually, when you saturate this false information, it is the discretion of the OC whether you should actually allow you again to visit. Because if your intention to visit is to distort facts, then there is no reason for you to be permitted to visit. Thank you for listening. If you have any question, you can ask me. If not, I can go to ekitongole ekyamakomera tulina abasibe emitwalo 4,769 abasalire abakyaliremba n'emisango bali 3,891 abamabanja bali 488 omugatte emitwalo 8,248 abaana balina bamaama baabwe bali 281 abasibe bakumbibwa mu bibinja 19 barujones 19 kolagana nabo stand by class 1 oba obukuumi obwenjawulo bwabumaliriza nga 18 olw'omukaaga olwembe katutuzeeyo okukola emirimu gyaffe nga bulijjo abadde balina byetukolaga betukwatira wamu netukola emirimu bakkirizibwa kubanga batambuza emirimu gyabwe nga bulijjo era naba OC bakimanyi nti twazeeyo kukola nga bulijjo bwe tukola. Ku lwokubiri oluwedde ennaku z'omwezi nga 14 ogw'olubereberye 2025 enjuki zayingira kooti nezitaataganya abaalimu mwabo abafuna obuzibu bw'enjoki mwalimu abasibe 13 ne suspects ba poliisi 7 era twagala kusiima omulimu ogw'amaanyi ogwakolebwa ebitongole ebikuumaddembe kubanga teri musibe n'omu eyatoloka era tukwatirawo tugira tukolerawo bijja tuyamba. Ndi wano okusambajja ebadde bitambula mu mikutu gy'amawulire egya social media ebikwatagana ku ndabirira y'omusibe retired Colonel Kiza Besigye. Bimu kubadde bisinganyibwa nti Besigye twamuganye okuba nti afuna emmere okuva ebweru emmere embisi si nfumbe. Nti ekyokubiri wetwogerera yaganye okulya emmere yonna ali ku hunger strike. Nti ekyokusatu tuganye twamuganye okuba nti abeera ne bane abasibe in fact nti oba yanukula enkuŋŋaanya z'abasibe bane nti waliwo nekenalabye nti ennaku zino bw'ogenda kwogera naye bakuwa ssimu toyogerera mu ssimu tebakukkiriza kutuula naye. Mpozi n'ekirala nti gavumenti yewaddeyo kubanga eyitira mu kitongole ekyamakomera nti ejjawo obulamu bwa Colonel retired Kiza Besigye. Kyeŋŋamba nti byonna bino byogera bya bulimba. Bwe tuba twamanya ekituufu kiriwa, ekituufu kiri mu bitabo eby'amateeka ebitufuga. Ekisooka tulina kye tuyita Prisons Act, you know what, nazze nayo naye nasseemu kye twagala ekyogera ku bikwatagana n'ensonga ez'abasibe. Enneeyisa y'abasibe n'ekikwata kukwata ku mmere nti buli musibe akkirizibwa kuba nti kitongole ekyamakomera kitukakatako kuba nti buli musibe emmere ey'okulya. Bwe kibanga emmere yaffe omusibe tasobodde girya era standing orders zo ne zigonzaamu ne ziraga nti abakkirizibwa kusasulira emmere eva ebweru naye OC alina okusooka kukola ki kugyekebejja. Ate okufuna emmere kuva ebweru si ddembe lya bwebange lwakuba nti kyateekeddwawo okuba nti kiyamba kukwatira wamu enkolagana nnungi y'abasibe n'abasirikale. Bwe kiba nti ekintu kino tekitwalizibwe tekisiddwa mu makubo amalungi, OC akkirizibwa kubanga ateekako ekkufulu kubanga nti emmere eba erina okuvaawa ebweru, naye ekyo tekinaba kukolebwa. Era ndi wano okukakasa nti abasibe baffe bonna nga ne kano omutwalidde tebalina mutawaana era embeera eri mu nteeko.
Of hunger strike, Dr. Besigye going on a hunger strike, the position that was made very clear, and we speak on good authority because this is his position. He's not going to eat prison food. So if the position remains that he can only access food from their canteen, then that means he's starving, because he's not going to eat it. Get this scenario. You eat that food provided by Museveni in the canteens of Ruzira, the consequence is what? Death. You refuse to eat it, death. So which option do you have? You eat and die, or you reject and die? So that is it. Either way, the end result is what? Death. So that is the predicament we are faced with. And it is the reason we are saying today we are taking their foodstuffs. Because now this is the question Abu was asking. He's already on hunger strike. Today we are taking foodstuffs. There was a stock which he had previously. Towards Christmas, we had taken there some items which were quite enough. And dry ration, at least, was still in stock. Even after that, many people have been taking there. Not only actually the leaders, very many people. And I think they are overwhelmed by the love shown to Dr. Besigye by so many people from all walks of life. So the dry ration had been there. But we are worried it may be exhausted today or tomorrow or any other day. So it is the reason we are taking the foodstuffs today. So if today we are blocked, then the next thing, you don't need to predict, to speculate what's going to happen. You don't need rather to guess or speculate what's going to happen. If we are blocked today, and his position remains firm that is not going to procure those items from their canteen, so you get